Anasazi. You're probably wondering who this unfamiliar face next to me is. To answer that question, I have invited a very special guest, who is also one of my very special friends, Solange Whitehead. Not only is she the Vice Mayor of Scottsdale, but she's also an engineer, avid mountain biker, and she won Conservationist of the Year. Before we get started, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, thank you for having me here. It's really fun to see you at your school, and I have 3 kids that are SUSD grads.
Today's first question is, when you were in elementary school, what was your favorite subject?
Science, specifically trilobites and sharks.
You're obviously very successful, so do you have any advice for students in elementary school to be successful?
Yeah, I think that you shouldn't be afraid to fail. You should just try and not worry about what you think people think. Just do your best and always have fun every day.
Do you have any specific quotes that you like?
Absolutely. It's attributed to Harry Truman. You can get anything you want done in this world as long as you don't care who gets the credit.
What do you love most about Scottsdale?
Well, absolutely the preserve, which is right next to your school. Not just because it's a preserve that I get to enjoy, but because we're a community that cares about the environment and we were willing to raise our taxes in order to buy the land and preserve it for the animals as well.
What are some ways we could help with the environment?
There's a lot of ways you can help. First of all, just think about the little things that we do at home. So, for instance, we call food waste, but it's not. So I have a service that picks up my food waste and composts it and supports local farmers. Recycling, just knowing what to put in. People don't realize what a big difference that makes. Using less water, using less energy, and just I would say most importantly, even as an elementary school kid, you can email City Council and say, we would like you to do more composting, we would like you to plant more trees, and how can we get involved? We love to hear from, not just one age group, which we hear a lot from my age group. We want to hear from you guys, because that's the only reason we're there.
We know each other from rock climbing, so what's something you've learned about yourself through that sport?
Well, first of all, that you're better than me. But other than that, it has been, I love watching you climb. It was a challenge that I had never, that's my phone, sorry. It's just challenging, and it's like a puzzle, and when you succeed, you feel really good, and when you don't succeed, you figure out what you did wrong, and you get to try again.
What's the most difficult...
Put this away.
Okay, yeah. That's okay.
Sorry about that.
What's the most difficult, and what's the best part of your job?
Okay, well, definitely the best part. Let's always start with the good. I get to represent one of the most beautiful cities in the country. We have people who choose to live here and love it here. And we have generations of leaders long before me that have made the decision to invest in our community, to make it healthy, to make it safe, and to make it beautiful. And so I get to just carry that torch and hear from some of the smartest people. I cannot believe all the people that live in this city. The hardest part is when you represent 240,000 people, you can't do what each and every one of them specifically wants. You have to do what's best for the community.
Right. If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be?
I would want decision making to be based on 10, 20, 30 years. So short-term decision making, whether it's in the corporate world or in government, is dangerous, and we need to think in generational terms. So we need to make decisions. If we made those types of decisions, what's good for the environment would also be evidently good for the economy, which would also be good for public safety, education, and the health and well-being of people. It's kind of general, sorry.
No,
but let me sum it up. I would like us to put our wildlife and wild places first.
That's all the questions I have for today. I want to thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was really fun. And thank you for what you're doing with the news.
Bye, Anasazi.